Bruchim Aboim, welcome to Where of Yiddish, the Great Yiddish Culture Quiz, where we ask you the who, the what, and the where of Yiddish and Jewish culture, history, and language. I'm your host, Mikhl Yashinsky, presenting this quiz here at Athol Orange Community Television in Athol, Massachusetts. This is the fourth ever episode of Where of Yiddish. The prior ones were all done over Zoom back in 2020. And I'm so happy to be here in 2024 doing this in person with three wonderful competitors. Whom do we have with us today? We have Lindsay Bloom, a student at Mount Holyoke College, originally from Maryland. Jankel Krakowski, an actor and translator living in Northampton, Mass, and originally from Atlanta. And Ozzy Gold Shapiro, a cultural worker and musician and activist who lives in Northampton and has lived their whole life in Northampton. The winners will receive their pick of three fabulous prizes. There's a bag of coffee roasted in Brooklyn, where I'm living. There's a tea infuser shaped like a bunny with its ears hanging over the mug. And there's a deck of cards, each with a cocktail recipe. And I'd say we're ready to go. All right, buzzers at the ready. Eins, zwei, drei. Away we go. Bagel meaning bagel. Pferd meaning horse. Brief meaning letter, 1 cent in the post. Stern meaning star, like all of you. For 10 points, tell me what grammatical abnormality all of these Yiddish words share, relating to the formation of their plural forms. Ozzy.
They're going to take the ech, their neuter. Lech.
No. They might all take an ech if they're diminutive, but in their undiminutive forms. Yes, Jankel.
They do not change?
They do not change. Their plurals are identical to their singular forms. Ein Bagel, zwei Bagel. Ein Pferd, zwei Pferd, etc. For 5 delicious points each, provide me with these scrumptious facts about bagel, everyone's favorite hard circular dough that doesn't change in plural form. New York City prides itself on its bagel, with its residents often claiming the product is superior there because of the superiority of the city supply of this common ingredient. Jankel?
Water.
Yes. Apparently, they have good tap water, and that makes the bagel geschmack. Good. One of the oldest bagel shops in the country, and the oldest in Detroit, where it has its 2 locations, goes by this geographic name, unusual for its being located in the Motor City.
No idea.
Any guesses from Bloom and Ozzy? Feel free to just speak it out if you know it.
New York bagels.
Exactly right. Very good guess. New York bagel. Maybe it wasn't a guess. Maybe you knew it. Maybe you've had the delicious New York bagel. I have in my day. I'm from there, and they have a good, hard onion bagel. Good. The bagel served, this is for Jankel, the bagel served at a well-known 24-hour bakery in London serves its product with hot salt beef and English mustard, and is insistent about pronouncing bagel thus, different from the typical North American pronunciation.
Beigel?
Yes, Beigel. Served at Beigel Bake, founded in 1974 in London's East End. The agricultural products known traditionally as the 7 species of the land of Israel, the Shiva Minim, as listed in Deuteronomy 8:8, include wheat, barley, grapes, figs, pomegranates, olives, and which other...
Dates.
Yes, very good. Which other fruit or vegetable referred to in the verse simply as dvosh, honey? That's dates. All right, Ozzy, your 3 bonuses. For 5 points each, provide me with the following information on things of which there are 7 in Jewish culture. Of the 7 daughters that Shalom Aleichem gives to his fictional dairyman Tevye, this is the one whose story ends with her throwing herself into a river, tragically, after her wedding is called off by the disapproving family of her wealthy bridegroom.
Huddle.
No. Jankel or Bloom?
I don't know this one.
Razel?
I don't think he has a razor.
No, I'm just saying names at this point.
Yeah.
Prince, who appears in the musical, but doesn't get any story. She gets quite the story in Shalom Aleichem. In the Passover counting song Echad mi yodeya, who knows one, or its Yiddish version Muasapru, the number 5 goes with the books of Moses, 6 with the orders of the Talmud, and 7 with what?
Okay, I actually know 2 different versions of the song.
All
so
right.
I have Woch and Tag.
Yes.
But they're both at
Days of the week, which you got. It's correct.
Right, okay. There's 2 different versions of Days
And
of
your
the
other one has?
week. It's also Days of the Week, but it's in a different format.
Yeah, they're both days of the week. In
can't
whatever
get-
language you
I
want to
can't
say it, in whatever way you want to say it. Good.
Well,
You got it. At shul, synagogue, the Shiva Kruim, or as Naborsky translates the phrase in his Dictionary of Hebraisms in the Yiddish language, Sieben Aufgerufene, refers to the 7 what?
Elias.
Very good. The 7 people called up to give a blessing on the Torah reading. Very good. Time for a visual clue. A feast for the Eugen. Please provide the surnames of these people. These Yiddish theatrical artists based in New York City are pictured here on a tour of the Soviet Union in the early 1930s. There are 2 surnames here.
Boop.
Yes, I think
Ozzy was first.
I think it was Ozzy. I think I heard that. Da-da-da-da-ba-dum.
Let me try
Yeah.
Modern Cutler.
Very good. Modern Cutler. This is the
Nicely done.
Yiddish puppet theater collective Modicut, named for Maud and Cutler. Zuni Maud and Yosel Cutler, together with Bessie Maud there, Zuni Maud's wife. All puppeteers. Now, Ozzy, for 5 points each, name the world leaders that these puppets represent. They're holding puppets in this photograph, their own original Modicut puppets. I'm asking you now to name 3 of those puppets. Who is this puppet?
Okay, I believe this is Gandhi.
That's Gandhi, yes. Wer bin ich, says this puppet.
Gonna try Churchill.
Not Churchill, Yankel and Bloom.
I got nothing.
I have no idea.
Yes, famous in his day, but not so much perhaps today. That's Leon Blum, the Jewish Prime Minister of France.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna keep at my Churchill.
are not correct either of the other contestants.
I don't know.
Nothing.
Herbert Hoover, the US president
Oh.
at the time.
Truly.
Head apparently swivels on this puppet to reveal a rotten apple. Unfortunately,
Come
I
on,
don't have a
Monica.
picture of that. Very good. We're on to our 4th toss-up. Judy Battalion's 2021 nonfiction book, The Light of Days, was about these people. Rachel Margolis was one of their number, as were Witka Kempner and Rosa Robota, who was eventually hanged. To what group am I referring, whose brave actions have etched their names forever into the chronicles of Jewish history? This is not a specific group, but a kind of person. You can describe it however you wish. No guesses. They were all anti-Nazi Jewish women resistors. The Light of Days, this book that came out a few years ago, was all about these people who fought in the ghettos against the Nazis. Other people I named were partisans, or they organized resistance in the camps. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to read the first bonus that I have for that question, and it's now going to be a toss-up. And this is for 10 points. Answer this question about Jewish women and girls during the period of the Churban, the Holocaust. Believed to have been the last surviving Vilna partisan, this woman passed away this year. Yes.
Fania Brandislavsky.
Yes, Fania Brantsovsky passed away this year at the age of 102. She was a Vilna partisan, was in the Vilna ghetto, escaped, fought against the Nazis, died this year at the age of 102. Many Jewish students, so many students who have attended the Yiddish summer program in Vilna got to know her because she was an educator for that program and a librarian. Good, so 10 points to you, Ozzy. Now you'll get 2 bonuses for 5 points each, all about women and girls during the Holocaust. Togbuch von a Mädel is the title of the Yiddish translation of this individual's writings.
Anne Frank.
Anne Frank, Diary of a Girl. This frum Yiddish poet, whose only published collection was entitled Der Bobes Oitzer, Grandma's Treasury, published in Warsaw in 1922, would later be interned in the Lodz ghetto and was killed in Auschwitz in 1944.
This is extra bad because I just read it in a Yiddish class, but it is not coming to me.
Yes, she has some wonderful poetry. Any of our either contestants? Okay, that is Miriam Ulinover. Miriam Ulinover. Yeah, unique among many Yiddish women poets in the modern era for having been a frum woman and writing modern poetry. Good. Now we're on to another toss-up for 10 points. A song about this place declares that in Mittenstädtel steht a Plaza. There is a plaza in the middle of town, and that a man in the middle of that plaza wears breitliche bombaches, wide bombachas, a kind of loose trouser favored by gauchos. For 10 points, name this town, the first Jewish agricultural... Ozzy.
Moisesville.
Moisesville, very good. The first Jewish agricultural colony in South America, referred to in this song as a Stolz für Argentina, a source of pride for Argentina. Muy bien, Ozzy. Sehr gut. For 5 points each, answer these preguntas and questões, Portuguese, about the Jewish communities of South America. Born in a different colonia in Argentina, Santa Catalina, this actress enjoyed a career on the Yiddish stage for 90 years, beginning at the age of 5. She died in New York City in 2011. No guess from Ozzy, Yankel or Bloom, but if not, that's okay. This is Shifre Lehrer. Shifre Lehrer.
Wow.
The first synagogue in the Americas, Ozzy, dating to 1646, was established in this city on the coast of northeastern Brazil, then the capital of the Dutch holdings in Brazil, New Holland.
It's not the Toro synagogue.
No. Bloom or Yankel?
Recife?
Yes. Yeah, Recife, or as it was known in Dutch, Mauritsstadt.
Ah.
Something like. Yeah, its founders later established Sharith Israel in New York, which is an old Sephardic synagogue in New York, today on the Upper West Side. Ozzy, one more bonus. Pati Hinich, the host of a PBS cooking program on which he has prepared a gefilte fish studded with tomatoes and olives, hails from the Ashkenazic Jewish community in this city.
Mexico City.
Yes, very good. DF. Let's have a little review of our scores so dutifully kept by Weaver. We have Ozzy leading. Ozzy was making quite a killing that round with 65. Yankel with 25. And Bloom with a wonderful half to catch up to these contestants. I'd like to have a little bit of a shmooze with you all about some of your objects you've brought along today and some of your doings in the Yiddish world. All of you are accomplished doers in our Yiddish cultural world. I've asked you all to bring a kamea, a good luck charm, for today, which is a stuffed animal. Bloom, can you tell us about yours?
Yeah, mine is a white shark, and it's, I think, from the World Wildlife Fund, and I chose it because it's the only anatomically correct shark stuffed animal that I could find. It doesn't have the right number of gill slits, but otherwise it is correct.
You study sharks at Mount Holyoke?
I study sharks in general. I've worked with sharks a little bit over the summer, like tagging them and taking samples and stuff. But at Mount Holyoke, I work mostly with fiddler crabs.
Fiddler on the roof crabs.
Yes.
Fiddler
You're like
under the sea
10th
crabs.
person to make that joke to
Yes,
me.
I am not surprised. And with Mount Holyoke, you recently put on a production of a play by Leivik, Shop.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
It was really fun. I got to take the script and fully transliterate it, and then I went through and figured out what everything meant.
And it was done in Yiddish.
And it was done in Yiddish with a couple parts that were in English because there aren't a ton of, like, there's a lot of Yiddish speaking college students, but there's like 20 roles in that play, so it would have been difficult. But it was really fun. Zalman Mlatek came and helped out with music that he wrote for the show when it happened at the Folksbiene. And
Shkoyach to you. It's wonderful to have a young person joining our Yiddish world and doing such marvelous things. Yankel, can you tell us about this creature?
Sure, yeah. Not exactly stuffed, but this is, I don't think it will show up even at all on the camera. There we go. This is my little toy sea slug or nudibranch. This is an authentic article from my childhood. I had a real preoccupation when I was a little kid with like unusual animals. And I really did treat this like a stuffed animal, carrying it around and playing with it despite its sort of flimsy plastic body. Yes.
Well, despite its flimsiness, may it bring you a lot of strong luck today. You're very busy translating Yiddish literature, I believe. Can you tell us what you're working on?
Sure, yeah. Right now I'm working on a book of short stories by this guy named Yankiv Krepliak, who was a real classic case in that he got tired of being arrested over and over and over again for various revolutionary activities in his home country of Poland. So he made his way eventually to New York, where he wrote a lot of children's and young people's literature informed by his revolutionary perspective. So it's about 20 short stories, some in New York City, some in the old country, and then it ends with a smattering of myths and legends called Jungvarg.
Jungvarg. I'm very excited to read. What will you title it in English?
I'm not sure.
Jungvarg is a little
youth,
tricky to translate.
possibly, which is kind of boring. Maybe youngsters, but I'm sort of hoping that something altogether different will occur to me during the process.
Very good. And Ozzy, you've brought a platypus?
Yeah, this is Leon. Leon has many great features. Probably you cannot tell that Leon is not stuffed with cotton or anything fluffy, but actually with rice. And every night before bed, I put Leon in the microwave, not to kill Leon or anything like that, but actually to make Leon like the greatest evening companion. So
Very cozy.
I go to bed every night with my little Leon.
And you're very busy putting on all sorts of interesting cultural happenings all the time in this area, including parades on Jewish holidays. And can you tell us about some of those?
Yeah, I helped co-found along with Weaver, Ariel Shapiro, and Sarah Bluestein a group which we loosely call the People's Puppet Parade. We do these large-scale spectacle theater shows around the Jewish holidays, which are often public grief rituals as well, where we incorporate a lot of Yiddish archival material sources and do, hopefully, if it goes well, youth liberation exercises. So it's a pretty fun time.
A mitzvah. I hope to be in town one of these days for one of these happenings, because I keep hearing about them and being jealous that I'm away in New York. Good. I think we're ready to begin with our second half. Very good. The performance he produced in Die Kischefmacherin, The Sorceress, in 1882 in a rented tavern in the Bowery, where the theater known as La Mama stands today, is considered to have been the first Yiddish language theater performance in the United States. At the time he produced it and starred as the ingenue Mirele, he was a young teenager working in a cigarette sweatshop. He would later wed a woman named Bessie, and together with her become one half Ozzy.
Boris Tomaszewski.
Very good, Boris Tomaszewski. Together with her would become one half of a major Yiddish theatrical producing enterprise, putting on shows on 2nd Avenue. Good. For 5 points each now, Ozzy, answer these questions about the great Yiddish theater district of yesteryear located along 2nd Avenue on New York's Lower East Side and East Village. The 2nd Avenue Yiddish theater district was often known as the Jewish This, after the commercial center of Venice that later gave its name to the hub of theatrical activity in New York.
Broadway?
No. It is sometimes known as the Yiddish Broadway, but that wasn't the commercial center of Venice that theatrical activities often get grouped under, used to in New York. Either of our other
New
contestants?
York?
Yes.
The Bowery? Or Lower East Side?
No. It was there, but it's not what I'm looking for.
Okay.
No good. It's the Yiddish Rialto. The Yiddish Rialto. Yeah. In New York's Rialto, that was kind of this, that was how people referred to theater in New York, and the Yiddish Rialto on the Lower East Side. Good. The old 2nd Avenue deli location, outside of which is the Yiddish Theater Walk of Fame, but which is now a Chase Bank, used to have one dining room named for this star and covered with posters of her in her various roles on the Yiddish stage.
Let's try Molly Pecan.
Yeah, it's a good try. Molly Pecan. The Molly Pecan Room. Of this restaurant, with a kingly 2-word name, where stars of 2nd Avenue routinely gathered from 1908 to 1952, the New Yorker wrote in 1937, "Everybody who is anybody in the creative Jewish world turns up at the blank, at least one night a week. To be seen there is a social duty, a mark of distinction, and an investment in prestige." Any guesses from Bloom and Yankel?
The Palace.
No.
That was 2 words, and it was pretty kingly.
Oh, the Palace. I was trying to figure out what 2 words they were.
The castle?
The which?
The castle.
The castle. No, the Café Royal. Café Royal. Too bad we can't go there anymore. No good. But we still have B&H Dairy
BH,
Restaurant.
BH.
Also a hangout for this crowd. Good. Following the scandal that surrounded Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ and his arrest for drunk driving, during which he unleashed an anti-Semitic tirade, the filmmaker sought, he said, to make amends to the Jewish community by filming another biblical epic, this one to be about a Jewish military hero. When the project was eventually shelved, the founder of the Simon Wiesenthal Center expressed his relief, stating, "Jewish history will be better off without Mel Gibson playing this man, whose epithet is often understood to mean hammer, and whose Yankel."
Judah Maccabee.
Judah Maccabee, yes. Now, Yankel, for 5 points each, provide these other facts about Hollywood biblical epics. Ones that, unlike Gibson's movie, actually got made. This actress starred as Delilah in Cecil B. DeMille's 1949 Samson and Delilah. A Jewish woman born in Vienna, she has received renewed attention in recent years for also having been one of the inventors behind a radio frequency hopping patent in 1941 meant to assist Allied torpedoes, which has been cited as a precursor to modern Bluetooth and Wi-Fi technologies.
Why, that would be Hedy Lamarr.
Hedy Lamarr, very good. Born Hedwig Kiesler in Vienna. Cecil B. DeMille's most legendary contribution to the genre, 1956's The Ten Commandments, is typically broadcast by ABC every year on the Saturday before which holiday?
Passover?
It's often around
Pesach?
Passover, but it's actually on the Saturday specifically before this holiday.
Easter?
It'll be...
I was about to say it.
Sorry, you already answered, Yankel. So, but it did look like Ozzy was about to say it.
I was going to say Easter, but it's okay if it's a wash.
What do we think, judges? Wash. One more bonus. This is the poster for which 2014 epic directed by the Brooklyn-born Darren Aronofsky and starring Russell Crowe? I have a box there covering the name.
Noah? Noah's Ark?
Noah.
Noah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. 5 points to you for that and for Hedy Lamarr. Anyone seen it? Me neither.
I don't think anyone has seen it.
Another toss-up. Get out your blyers, your pencils. Here comes a question involving mathematic.
Oh no.
This might be a tough one. For me too. Take the number of cities in the title of Sholem Asch's multi-volume novel published in the 1920s and 30s. Blank Stadt, blank cities. There's a number in the title of that novel. Multiply that by the number of windows in the title of Kadya Molodovsky's 1957 novel, A Stube mit blank Fenster, a house with this many windows. That might have actually been a short story collection, not a novel. Anyway. Now take the product of those numbers and divide it by the numerical value of the Yiddish interjection och, meaning alas, which is how you might be responding to this question. And that will be your answer. Contestants? Yankel.
4.
Incorrect. Sorry. Nicht richtig. No guesses, it looks like. The answer is 1. There are drei Städt, 3. Multiply that by 7 to get a Stube mit 7 Fenster. And divide that by Och, which is 21. Okay. 21 over 21 is 1. Good. Now I'm going to ask the first bonus as a toss-up. So this is open to anyone for 10 points. These will all be questions about numbers. Every answer will be a number. The year that Isaac Bashevis Singer won the Nobel Prize for Literature, awarded according to the selection committee for his impassioned narrative art, which, with roots in a Polish Jewish cultural tradition, brings universal human conditions to life.
I just read his speech and I forgot.
We're being timid. Abyssal Shemevdik. 1978. No good. This is also open to anyone. For 10 points, the age of the biblical Moses at his death on Har Nevoy, Mount Nebo.
Is it
Bloom.
Is it like 120?
Very good, 120,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Which is why we say in Yiddish bis 120 when mentioning someone's age or on their birthday. May you live to 120 as Moses did. Good, so now you get 1 bonus, Bloom, for 5 points. In the title of an amusing song introduced by Joel Grey in the Broadway musical Cabaret, written by composer John Kander and lyricist Fred Ebb, all of them Jews, this is the number of ladies involved romantically with the singer.
2.
2 ladies. Yeah, you want to sing a bit of it for us?
I forget how it goes. I know a lot of songs from Cabaret. I know the Berry Sisters version of Cabaret in Yiddish.
Sing a bit of that for us.
Okay. For which part?
Any part? It's for no points. It's just for charm.
Du einer allein hörst wie es spielt Musik. Das Leben ist ein Cabaret. Kim euch ein Cabaret.
Wow, sehr schön. Bravo.
Oh, yeah.
A little musical interlude. This is a toss-up for anyone. The Lost Princess, or as it is known in Hebrew, Maise Mavidas Bas Melech, or in Yiddish, Die Verlorene Bas Malke, The Turkey Prince, The 7 Beggars. These are all stories that, though he did not write them down himself, yes, it was Yankel. Okay.
Rabbi Nachman.
Rabbi Nachman.
Breslov.
Rabbi Nachman Breslover wrote these stories. He didn't write them, his disciples did, and they're seen as precursors to our Yiddish short stories. Yes. Okay. Good. Yankel, your bonuses for 5 points each. Fill in the missing word in these historical translations of fairy tales into Yiddish. Heuch über dem ganzen Handel und Wandel von der Stadt auf a heuchen Seil ist gestanden die Statue von dem glücklichen blank.
Chosin?
No, either Bloom or Ozzy, a chance to steal. And
King
this,
Midas?
no. This is Prince. It's from The Happy Prince, fairy tale by Oscar Wilde. Good. A translation published in London in 1907. High above the city on a tall column stood the statue of the Happy Prince, is how Oscar Wilde's story opens. Another one, fill in the blank in this Yiddish translation of a fairy tale. Was weiter seien ihr Menschen als lieber geworden. Mit jedem Tag hat sich in ihr gestärkt der Verlang zu wohnen auf der blank.
See, I have to get it because
An eager ganef, Yazi,
yeah, truly.
ready to steal.
actually just the final phrase.
Yeah,
once
I'll
more.
do the second sentence. Mit jedem Tag hat sich in ihr gestärkt der Verlang zu wohnen auf der blank.
weiß nicht.
Okay, either of our other contestants? Erd is exactly right. From what fairy
The
tale?
Jan Mädel,
Das Jan Mädel, The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. Yeah, she grew more and more fond of human beings, and with every passing day, her
where the
desire
people
grew
are.
stronger to live on Earth amongst people. Good.
Naturally.
One more for you, Jankel. Spiegele, Spiegele auf der Wand, wer ist die Schönste im ganzen Land? Du, Königin, du bist die Schönste doch, nur sie, Schneeweißele, ist blank noch.
I know the story.
Can do it again if you need.
Please.
Spiegele, Spiegele auf der Wand, wer ist die Schönste im ganzen Land? Du, Königin, du bist die Schönste doch, nur sie, Schneeweißele, ist blank noch.
Schener.
Schenner, yes. That's from a Warsaw 1921 translation of Snow White by the brothers Grimm. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who in the land is fairest of all? You, my queen, are fair, it is true, but Snow White is fairer than you. Schenner, fairer, more beautiful. Good. Our last question. Review the scores. We have Bloom with 15, Jankel of 15, Jankel with 55, 55, and Ozzy leading with 85, 85. Going into our 10th and final picture clue. Now, I'm going to show you a clip of Shloime Michoels, the artistic director of the Moscow State Jewish Theater, or Gassiet. In this clip from a filmed Gassiet performance, his character weeps over the body of his daughter. Ooh, before I even show it. Well, you buzzed in, so I'll get your answer and then we'll watch it. Yes.
Sure, King Lear.
King Lear, yes. What title role is Michoels playing here?
Der König Lear.
Yes, King Lear.
Der Melech.
However you want to say it. There's Cordelia. Hopefully we won't be feeling like that once the show is over. No good. Oi, Tate in Himmel, oh Heavenly Father. I'm now going to show you, Jankel, photos of Yiddish actors playing fathers on stage and on film. Please identify the names of these Tate characters. Maurice Schwartz as
Tevye?
Tevye in the 1939 film Tevye, also directed by Maurice Schwartz. Moshe Lipman, there in the center, as...
Oh my God, these guys' names. Let's see, I always switch these two. Him and his best friend.
Sure. I guess. This is, I can like hear him crying out in the first scene.
And I can hear you crying out his name.
I know. Oh, God, I'm blanking.
All
I
right.
can't remember.
Our other two contestants. Moshe Lipman appearing there in the center as this character.
We all know it, too.
Sender?
Very good, Reb Sender. Yes, the father of Leah there in the film The Dybbuk. Leah there at the Shabbos table. She'll later be possessed by the spirit of her beloved Chonen in the Dybbuk. And those two, Leon Liebgold and Lily Liliana, were married in real life. And our last
That's my
question
last chance
is
to
another
die,
bonus for Jankel. Alexander Azro as...
Oi. Einmal nicht gesehen. Does it say? Can I cheat by reading?
Yes, it does.
Oh, yes,
It does say the play title.
Oh, what's his name? Oh.
I'll accept either the first or the last name of this character. All right, and seems no guess from Yanko. Bloom or Ozzy? All right. It seems Weaver might like to answer. Why don't we, Weaver?
Is it Yankel?
It is Yanko, but unfortunately you
Nice
don't
bet.
get it. Yankel Chapchovich, the father in Gott von Nekome. He has a respectable family upstairs, and downstairs he's keeping a brothel, as one does. All right, that's the end of our game, Was wer wo. Let's review our scores. We have Bloom ending up at 15, Yankel with 70, and Ozzy, our winner, with 90 points. So a mazel tov and a hartzigen shkoyach to Ozzy, our champion today. And really remarkable playing and learning from all of you. Good. Ozzy, you have your choice of 3 prizes. You have the deck of cards, on each of which is a cocktail recipe. You have the tea infuser shaped like a bunny, and you have a bag of nice roasted coffee.
Okay, one question. Is the coffee ground or whole?
No, it's beans.
Beans. That's so nice, but I'm so drawn by the bunny.
Oh, yes, the bunny for our champion. Here you are. And our second place is Yankel. So would you like the coffee or the cocktail cards?
I think, well, I'm not a coffee drinker myself because it makes me a little too antsy, but it seems like it would be a lovely gift, so I'm going to take the coffee.
Very
with
good.
the intention of regifting it.
Good. A gift for Hanukkah. And Bloom, your cocktail cards.
This is so exciting. I cannot legally drink.
Oh no, well, next year or in a year or two. Thanks to all of you for playing, to everyone watching at home, and to everyone at the National Yiddish Theater Folksbiene and Athol Orange Community Television who helped make this possible. To Weaver, our studio audience, and all of our wonderful crew helping us out today. I want to leave you with these words. Remember all the world's one great big ancient question, an alte Kasche. Now go out and find some answers. Until then, it's Seid gesund from Bloom,
Seid gesund.
Seid gesund from Yankel,
Seid gesund.
and Seid gesund from Ozzy.
Seid gesund.
Goodbye, be well, seid gesund.
Yay!